Hi, everyone. Diana Ginty here, your self-care expert and life coach to busy women. Today, I want to introduce you to Melissa here. She's agreed to talk to you a little bit. Melissa has completed the boot camp, the self-care boot camp, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the benefits, her experience, and it would be so easy for me to sit here and tell you that it's a fabulous program, but I thought I'd bring Melissa in here and kind of just, she's going to share her experience and answer some questions. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you, Diana, for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Mayfield. I am a working mom, married for almost 13 years. I have two boys, Manning and Cole, 9 and almost 6. So I work hard. We like to play hard, which means we're like constantly on the go, looking for new things to do. And and a new lover of my Peloton. I guess that explains me right there.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Melissa does a lot of adventures. She actually has a blog. So we're going to post that blog there so you can go and follow her. She does a lot of family adventures. So, okay. So Melissa, tell me a little bit about what were you going through? Kind of like what attracted you to the self-care bootcamp? What were some of the things that you were struggling with?
Yeah, in the summer and fall, I was struggling, and I didn't realize how much I was struggling. I was just constantly like at home, but running at home. I was mentally worn out. I was like caring about things that I didn't need to care about. I felt like I was doing a lot, but I wasn't accomplishing a lot, if that makes sense. And I was just really in a bit of a funk in the late summer, early fall. So that's what I was experiencing.
So what that says to me is that you were kind of like burnt out, right? Like doing a lot of things, but not seeing a lot of results in your efforts,
Absolutely.
Right? It wasn't paying off. So, so obviously you heard about the self-care bootcamp. What were your reservations going in? Like, what were some of the things that you kept kind of simmering in your head about making that investment in that time?
Absolutely. So, I mean, for me, I didn't think I had the time. I was like, I am working all day. I am on Zoom all day. I need to work out. I need to do schoolwork with the kids. I also want to make sure that I'm nurturing my relationship with my husband. So I was like, I cannot add something else into my day. And I was following you, through Dana. And I was like, she has so much good advice, but I'm not going to do it right now, because I kept going back in that mindset of I don't have enough time. I'm burnt out. I don't need to be on another Zoom call.
Right. And I do remember we had those conversations right back and forth before you committed. And I know I've had those conversations with some women right now that they're saying like, it's just not the right time, right? I'm too busy right now. So so you obviously kind of were able to like overcome that reason and jump in. What were your experience once you were in the boot camp? What did you start to see about that busyness?
I found that I was actually prioritizing myself first. So in one of your early messages, you said, if you don't prioritize yourself and make time for yourself, then you're never going to be at that really happy level. And I've always been like a happy person, but I had no idea that extra time that I was giving myself, where it was just me, how much I really needed it. So yeah, I mean, right from the get-go, the prioritizing myself and some of those tactics you gave and some of the thoughts that you put in my head to get there, that was one. And then for me, I was rushing after, I have to do gratitude every day. I have to, do this every day. And you really put it into perspective about, these are the things that you should focus on. I don't want to give it all away for the boot camp, but you really laid it out really clearly, where I was able to take notes and immediately implement those. And some of those things I'm now doing, weekly with one of my sisters. That's one of the things. The other one, I'm writing like thank you notes every week. I am just really like, number one, prioritizing myself, but then also showing more external like gratitude, and my emotional like well-being is in a much better place.
Right. I do remember that moment where it was like, I actually do show like the different types. I think that's what you're referring to, the different types of self-care.
That's
And
right.
would you agree, and this is one thing that I hear from other boot campers, is that they had no idea that self-care was more than just what you hear in mainstream,
Oh,
like
for
media,
sure.
right?
And that's what I kept telling, like when I would be on the phone with friends, I'd be like, oh, I really miss a pedicure. I really miss a massage. I want a facial. And I was so, I mean, my whole life I've been focused on the self-care that's so external, where, those tactics that you gave, again, it's not, I mean, they were huge. And I am in just such more peace. I have not had my hair done in months. I have not had a pedicure in, oh gosh, who knows how long. And I feel so much better than when I was doing those type of things for myself.
Right. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy because ladies, what we're talking about here, the stuff that you will learn in this boot camp, it is not about that self-care, right? We all know that type of self-care, like that external, which is literally kind of like the most basic self-care. What you're saying, Melissa, is you really kind of dug deep and did more of like that mental self-care, that spiritual self-care, and it really has led to you feeling so much more happy and
Oh my
peaceful.
goodness. Yes.
So you mentioned at the beginning that before you started the boot camp, you were so busy, you were just kind of like going in circles. How do you feel now having completed the boot camp?
I feel this is going to sound crazy, but I feel really at peace. I'm, that same happy level, but it's like, it's real. I don't feel like I'm just like, sighing all the time. I feel like I just feel more at peace, that I'm like getting the things done that need to be done for my work, my family, my, other things that I'm doing, but I don't ever feel like I'm just so stressed and rushed all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed just working with you, is that you went from like that really busy, and most of the women that are watching this right now feel like that, right? They have so many things on their plate and they probably think, I can't take one more thing. But what I really have seen in you is that you did this and suddenly it seemed like now you have more time to do the things that really nourish and kind of add to your life.
Yeah, you got me out of the waiting room on a couple big things. And,
Yeah.
something that I'm about to pull off the wall, I won't pull it off, but, you really, going through this, doing the boot camp with you and then deciding to do the one-on-one coaching, it really made me sit down and prioritize what is the most important for me. So yeah, I mean, every week I'm like a little, writing down the goals and making sure that I'm hitting them, really like focused on each, at a month level, week level, and then each day. And I just find that I'm getting so much more done, both like for my personal side as, which was so important.
Right. So what would you say to somebody that's watching right now that's kind of in the waiting room, like you said?
Mm-hmm.
And for ladies, for what that means for us is that I talk a lot about us always waiting. We're waiting for the right time. We're waiting to have the right kind of money. We're waiting for our kids to grow up. We're waiting for our marriage to get better. Like we're waiting, and we're that's what I call the waiting room. And so Melissa here, she stepped out of the waiting room and she's really done some huge changes in her life. What would you say to that woman that is watching this right now and is stuck in the waiting room?
I would say, take a step back, think about what's important to you, what you're not doing today, and, really write the things down. And what are your dreams? What are your hopes? What do you want to accomplish this month, this year, whatever? And look at it, and you will be surprised that that you can get that done if you just prioritize yourself. And honestly, I would still be sitting where I was if I wouldn't have went through your boot camp. So I would say, you have the time. You think you don't, you really do. What are you wasting your time on? Are you watching a lot of extra TV? Are you scrolling through and social media consistently? Like really look at what you're spending your time on, and you will be amazed at the extra time that you have for yourself to prioritize yourself.
Right. So we do have the time, right?
We do.
What do you think is the important piece of having like the program, like that accountability piece? Would you say that that's something that is kind of at the top of the list of priorities, or how do you feel about that piece? Because I know that was something that this program really gave you, is that showing up and being accountable.
for me, accountability is everything. That's why I write it down. And that's why after the boot camp, I signed up for one-on-one with you, because I knew if I told you I was going to do something, I would do it. And same with the boot camp. There were the ladies there, and I knew I had to be there on Tuesday night, because, I couldn't let those ladies down. And at the end of the day, like that's what like triggered it for me, was I don't want to let those ladies down. Now it's gotten to a point where I can't let myself down. And so those, like that's what, you have taught is, sure, don't let people down, but don't let yourself down. And having the group through, you or the ladies in the self-care boot camp also to, hold you accountable, I think is so key as you're getting out of the waiting room.
Right. Yeah. So ladies, step out of the waiting room. That's what Melissa's saying. That's what I'm saying. And you will be able to really achieve more, even though you think that this is going to take such a big time commitment and even financial investment. It's definitely worth it. I mean, look at Melissa. She's really gone from feeling burnt out, feeling kind of stuck, overwhelmed, to really being able to prioritize herself, feeling so much more peace and at happiness with the stuff that she is prioritizing, not just in her personal life, but also like at work, setting boundaries and things like that. So yeah, we start the next boot camp on Tuesday, January 26th at 7 p.m. Melissa will be there. So please join us. Yeah, join us. You just have 2 more days to enroll. We hope to see you there. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.